So Harley Quinn was all like, why is this movie so crazy, Andrew? And I was like, I don't know, Margot. And if you get that joke, you're my new best friend. Let's get started.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to Thumb Together. My name is Andrew Fantasia, and today we're going to be talking about, deep breath now, Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn together. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and give some love to that subscribe button as well. The DC Cinematic Universe is a very different animal from what Marvel is doing. When you look at their lineup that they've had, there hasn't been a single sequel yet, has there? There's just been different standalone movies that keep reusing characters. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Shazam, Aquaman, and now Birds of Prey. They really are just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. But does Birds of Prey stick? I don't know yet. I don't know if my verdict would say that this sticks, but I will say this is a much better movie than I thought it was going to be. First and foremost, you know it's going to get some brownie points from this guy because this is our first DCEU movie that's set entirely within Gotham City and features an entire cast made up of Batman universe characters. I'm all over that, baby. Yes, I've been saying this for ages and I'll keep saying it for ages. Joker and Harley are way too overrated and overused. I'm frankly sick of both of them, but I'm willing to put up with it because A, Margot Robbie does such a good job as Harley, but B, more importantly, I finally get to sit my butt in a theater and watch a movie that has Renee Montoya and the Huntress in it. That is some deep inside baseball DC lore, and it's so nice to see those characters brought to life, even if it is in a batshit bonkers movie like Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Black Mask makes for a great villain, and it's cool because you never feel like he's the kind of villain you're ever going to get to. You know, Batman has so many other people in his rogues gallery who are in line in front of Black Mask due to their popularity, and it's like, oh, we're never going to get people like Black Mask or the Great White Shark or Calendar Man. But now we got Black Mask, so we're one step closer to that. I might be able to see a movie that has Calendar Man in it before I die. That's exciting. Now, Ian McGregor plays Black Mask with just over-the-top, comical, wonderful madness, and it's a different kind of Black Mask than what we're used to. He's not the more low-key gang boss that the character is stemmed from. The horror aspects of him are gone, but he's still a murderous psychopath, so that's still there, and he fits in the tone of the movie, which is nice. Speaking of the tone of the movie, if there's one thing that I think this movie was severely lacking, it was in the music department. This had very little original music to speak of. It was just pop songs, and it got tiresome really, really fast because of how cliche their use was and the context of their use. Here's what I mean by that. Every time a fight scene happens, which is often, this is a very action-heavy movie, we cut to a pop song, usually by like some badass rocker chick to sort of emulate the whole badass rocker persona of Harley Quinn. I'm sitting there, and as soon as the first fight scene starts with a pop song alongside it, I'm like, okay, it's only a matter of time now until we hear Joan Jett. It's only a matter of time until we hear Barracuda. And sure enough, we hear Barracuda. Like, it's, of course we do. It felt really cliche, and it felt like there was no original thought put into any of the music, which is a shame because you could have had some really creepy motifs going on with Harley. You could have had some really cool themes for these new characters. There was only one moment where the music seemed to shine, and it was the moment where, minor spoilers, Harley has a big dartboard set up where she's got the Joker's face in a dartboard and she's throwing stuff at it, and she's talking about this dartboard to another character, and the music gets a little eerie and melancholy, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds like Batman world kind of music. I'm digging this. But it was over as soon as it started so that we could get another song where the singer goes, wah, and Harley kicks somebody. So I really wish the music was a bit more interesting, but I guess you can't really expect much more than the obvious in a movie like this. Huntress ended up being my favorite character. I want a spin-off of Huntress or something. I just want her to show up again. Please, Mary Elizabeth Winstead rocks. The Huntress was really, really funny. They played her in an interesting way, and I just want more. She's just fun. Plus, she's really tied into the whole lore of Gotham City, and that's what I want to see. Gotham itself could be its own film universe. There's so much room to play here. And this is the first movie I've ever seen that makes it clear that there's so much room to play here. None of the Batmans did it. None of them. They were all, whether they were amazing Batmans or whether they were George Clooney, none of them presented Gotham in a way that said, you could spend a lot of time having fun here, and we're going to. None of them did that. They just focused on whatever their own thing was. I just wish people would take a page out of the Tim Burton, and yes, I'm going to say it, Joel Schumacher books, and make Gotham look more otherworldly. You can make it look like anything. Why do you always just make it look like a generic city? You could have the craziest structures in the background. Do a matte painting. Nobody's going to blame you. Everybody's going to think that's the coolest shit in the world. I will freeze frame that matte painting and hang it on my wall. Why is everybody afraid of being creative with Gotham? It looked bland from a distance. When you zoom in, you get cool areas, like you get the docks. Amusement Mile shows up, which is a really deep Batman lore cut, and you have Joker's old abandoned funhouse and Amusement Mile that feels like it's ripped straight out of the cartoon. That was great. When you zoom in, you see the little Gotham-y goodness. For the most part, it just looked like a generic city, and Gotham should never look generic. It deserves better than that. But I'm going to say this right now. Of all the DC movies, this isn't quite my favorite, but it is the most artistically done. This feels like a straight up Quentin Tarantino movie. It's got that interesting plot where there's a neat dynamic that happens in the plot, and then everything starts to revolve around that one dynamic. Everything has to do with crime, because that's Tarantino's bag as well, more often than not. And it's very hard R-rated, which I wasn't really expecting, but sure, I welcome it. Altogether, it feels like it's got that whole package pulled into this movie, and then it's just wrapped in the candy-colored bow of Harley Quinn and these other Gotham City characters. So if you want an artistic comic book movie, you don't have to look much farther. I think Birds of Prey really hit that nail on the head. As far as the plot, and as far as the way that the lead characters like Harley and Roman Sionis are presented, you can't go wrong. It's great. They've done excellent work with what they gave us. It is a really cliche movie. It is a really obnoxious movie, but it's an artistically done movie, and it's going to leave you satisfied if you've come in there looking for just an interesting crime story. I mean, looking at this poster, you can't really expect anything else but an interesting crime story. These are not nice people, except Black Canary. Black Canary's all right. She's got a good heart. If the really cheap, watered-down 90s generic action movie feel of Suicide Squad turned you off, I don't blame you at all, but give Birds of Prey a shot, because this isn't the same animal. This is a much more, I gotta say the word again, artistic, much more interesting, much more creative attempt at telling a story about villains in the DC universe, embracing the DC universe to the same extent. I'm not gonna lie, Suicide Squad did a good job of embracing pockets of the DCEU, but this embraces not just the DC universe, but the Batman universe in particular. It does all of that well, tells an entertaining story, and plants seeds for, hopefully, more stories set entirely in Gotham, because that's what this man wants to see at any rate. If this ends up being the launch title of a Gotham Universe film series, color me interested. Just please focus on people other than Joker and Harley. They are obnoxious. I'm good. I've had my fill of them now. Thank you. Move on. The Riddler's out there somewhere. Move on. Just let me see a well-done Riddler before I die, please. But anyway, that is Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. I had fun. I had more fun than I thought I was going to have. You will have fun too. Trust me. Thanks for watching Thumb Together. My name is Andrew Fantasia. I'll see you all here next time. And until then, adios.